Not long now. Not long now. You should have listened to me when you had a chance, Rodimus 13.
Hi everyone. Okay, welcome back to the road to destruction. This is the last figure before we get to Devastator himself. This is Constructicon Overload. That's right, we are in the home stretch. This is the last figure, the last leader class, and then after this we will get everybody combined together. That'll be its own review though. I am super interested to see how this guy came out, because this is another one that we didn't really get to see much in the movie, and they're kind of extrapolating the design based off of old concept sketches and stuff. So I'm interested to see how they pull this all off. But before we really get looking at them, we got to take a look at the box. So, as usual, we have this nice big illustration of Overload. He has glowy eyes and a glowy nose. That's kind of weird. But it's a neat look. It looks like he's got like a fire burning inside him. Very like The Fallen like, which is funny because he comes from Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. Hey, how's that for a segue? Got number 66, Studio Series, Constructicon Overload. Takara Tomy, Transformers, Generations, Hasbro, 8+. Then, on this side, it's the same illustration we've seen as before, just much bigger, along with the vacuum face. Then, on the back, we have some nice product renders here, showing that he's got multiple arms. And these ones don't look super happy. Neither do these, really. He does not look like the kind of person you want to get hugs from. Or at the very least, handshakes. Got big screen inspired scale, detail, backdrop. You probably can't see all that because this box is huge and I'm having to push it all the way to the back of my set. Plus my lights are reflecting off of it. Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. Constructicon Overload. Pyramid Desert Battle. And you can see the background on this guy. And over here, we got nice close-up of that illustration showing all the detail that they've done there. And freaky face. Number 66, Studio Series, and this is a leader class. Up here, little window, still can't see too much. And then on the bottom, nothing else really to talk about. Okay. That's enough of this. Let's get going on this. Getting closer to the end of the month. And that monster Rodimus keeps talking about. Show must go on. And here is the Overload himself, looking pretty massive. He sprawls out quite nicely. He's still got that same background that all the others came with. It's even got the same shadow. Still kind of disappointed in that. Let's go ahead, just toss that aside though, and focus on the bot. And he is an interesting design. He's got a sort of standard robot design, but he's also got way too many arms. Just look at this. And it's kind of getting his legs positioned just right is a little bit of work too, because his knees feel a little bit on the weak side, so he tries to fall back a little bit. So you almost kind of have to have him in a crouch position to kind of get his center of balance just right. But yeah, kind of like Scavenger. He's mostly this sort of brick red with silver and gunmetal. A little bit of black. And pulls it off pretty good. He's got 4 arms, 2 legs. And yeah, looks pretty cool. Let's go ahead, take a look at articulation. Okay, so The head is on a ball socket joint. This part flips down, I'm guessing for transformation. It doesn't want to move a whole lot though. You get some movement, but his head is kind of tucked in here, so you're not getting a whole lot of expression. His shoulders are ratchets, and I think that's because I think these actually act as the hips for Devastator once we get everything combined. Goodness, and I'm having trouble getting him staying together. Some of his joints that aren't like ratchets feel a little bit weaker than some of the others that I've messed with. And I think part of that might be because this is a hefty transformer, so they're having trouble keeping up with everything, I guess. On this arm, you have a joint here for rotation at the bicep. You have a double jointed elbow for better than 90 degree. And this little claw thing is hinged. This one has joints here, here, and here that allow for some posability. Can't rotate at the bicep. It does look like you can rotate here though. And the claw here unfortunately does not open or anything. There's no waist articulation. He's just a solid chunk there. You can kick forward at least a little bit. You can bend the knee, not quite 90. Kick back a little bit, and you can do the splits. So he's got posability, it's just his chunkiness is making it difficult to use. Oh, this part I think moves a little bit too if you want. I think it's supposed to stay there. So, certainly has presence. It's just his articulation is a little bit to be desired. Oh, his ankles tilt, by the way, yes. I think the legs are kind of the weakest part of him. But leaving him like that, he looks pretty cool. Makes me think a little bit of like the Jaegers from Pacific Rim. Don't know if that's a good comparison or not. Though, speaking of comparisons, let's go ahead and take a look at everybody else with him. Let's see if we can fit everyone in here. Because this is the last spot, so push him back here. Here is Scavenger, the other leader class toy. Then, let's see. I'll put Rampage up here. Or maybe, yeah, here. Long Haul. Try to see if I can fit Mixmaster in there. There we go. Scrap Metal. Running out of space. Scrapper. Here, let's put Scrapper here. Put Mixmaster here. And finally, Hightower. That is all of them. And that is certainly a team, isn't it? Makes me happy seeing all these together. Makes me not think about the monster that's supposed to show up. Okay, you know what? Let's get these guys cleared out and get our overload transformed into vehicle mode. Okay, let's get started on this guy. So first we're gonna close this up and disconnect this part right here. In fact, we're gonna pull this entire assembly down, kind of flatten it out too, it looks like. Oh, this slides along here, interesting. Okay. Back to the front. Let's get his various robot mode arms all straightened. Looks like we're gonna have these rotate and facing up like that, then drop down and looks like we're gonna curl these up. Okay. Now, what are we doing? Because the instructions are super unclear. None of this looks right, does it? Come on. Sorry, I'm not talking a lot. I'm trying to figure this out because none of this is making much sense. Yeah, I really don't think I have gotten things nearly as complete as I should, but we're just going to keep going and see if we can suss this out as we go. Oh, wait, that looks better. Okay, so now we got that all folded in there. The instructions didn't seem to indicate any of that. Oh, that's frustrating. Okay, now we are closing this up, closing this up, it looks like, and then there's a peg right here that goes into the hole right there. There we go. Now I feel like I'm making some progress. No thanks to the instructions on this. Okay, straighten this out. And we're going to rotate, and we're going to bring this together without trapping my fingers in there. There we go. Okay. I think the thing that frustrates me the most about transforming these things is that after I'm done, it's going to be like painfully obvious all the things I'm supposed to be doing. And then later I'll be able to zip through it like it isn't a problem. Okay, we're going to close a little foot thing there, it looks like. Going to bring these little flaps down. Going to bring these wheel things forward. Not that forward, apparently. I swear I just brought it back to exactly where I was before. Whatever. Okay, let's lift that up over there. Okay, looks like we're getting the front put together now. Okay, so we're rotating this around. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay. I want to make sure his head is just hanging out here, but that doesn't look like it's going to work very well once we get to vehicle mode. So maybe there's a hinge there. Anyway, let's push these together. There we go. Okay. There's a joint in here that I'm supposed to be engaging. And, oh, now it did. Weird. Okay, whatever. It's doing the thing. Let's not look a gift horse in the mouth. Okay. So now we just need to get this two pegged together. And I think... Okay. There we go. Feels like we're a little off, maybe. There we go. Hey. Rolling pretty good. And then we have this last piece that we can just pop on here. So nice to know it's not permanently attached. Not that I'm 100% certain where it's supposed to plug into. Right there. Right there. So it can look like he's hauling around some piece of equipment. So there we are. Let's see, this wasn't supposed to... Nope, okay. He's a long vehicle, but he's an articulated dump truck. Not that he articulates much in this version. His Legends class toy did a little bit better than that. But goodness, that took a little bit of work. We got mostly red plastic with the black wheels. It does appear, well, it's not, no, we don't got two different colors of red plastic. We got some plastic painted red, but it doesn't quite match up, which, that's a thing. Silver accents look pretty nice. But not too shabby. Okay. Let's see, here is Mixmaster, our former longest one next to him. Long Haul. Scrapper. Rampage. High Tower. Scrap Metal, and our other leader class just can't fit in here. Scavenger. Kind of cool to have them all together. And that is all of their vehicle modes. Pretty darn cool. But we are getting closer to the main event. Closer to that monster thing that Rodimus keeps talking about, which monsters aren't real, so I don't have anything to worry about. I don't know why I keep freaking out. But let's go ahead and get this guy into his combiner mode, and we can see what that looks like. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is take this off and set it aside. Then we're going to open these up like that and rotate these, looks like 90 degrees. And then we're going to finish, open it all the way up. So that way we got a T-shaped thing. But we're not done yet. We got to bend these like this. So now we have something that looks like a Y-wing. And then we rotate these again. Lots of transformation just going on in just that spot. Now we're going to flip this up like this. And we're going to pull these out, it looks like. And we're going to, not that. Basically, we're going to tilt those. And not sure what it's asking me to do here. Oh, there are little stands or something. And I guess that's to help keep these in position. Okay. Actually, I think I misinterpreted something, and these are supposed to stay in place. These arms are supposed to be doing things. There we go. So, there we go. Okay. I think I got this where they want it to be. Okay. So now these go like this. And are we seriously just plugging them back into a different hole? So now this peg here, focus. This peg here is going to peg in to this hole here. So we've essentially just sort of shifted it down a notch. Or up a notch or something. I don't know. Basically, we filled out this section, which I think is, if I remember correctly, this is the hips. So, okay. Moving right along. Now we're going to take this part and flip it down. And we're going to flip these wheels up. And we're going to spread that open, revealing the robot head. Hello. Okay. Then we are trying to keep this all in frame for you guys. Bringing that back over. So we flip that up and then we slid it over to the side again. And then we are bringing it back down. And then we bend that 90 degrees. And that's what we get. That's basically some Devastator hips there. All right, let's get this guy back into robot mode and we will come back for my final thoughts. So overall, he's not bad, but I certainly wouldn't say he's my favorite of the group. I think my biggest problem is just his robot mode actually has a lot of limitations to it. The articulation he has, even though he's got a bunch of joints, is kind of weird and is problematic in many areas. And like his knee joints are kind of weak for supporting such a top-heavy robot. Maybe I'm just not figuring out how to balance him correctly, but you can see here, they just try to make him fall backwards. And you got a lot of fiddly bits with him. So it's like his robot mode is kind of the weakest mode. And that's not necessarily something you want in a Transformer. But, so, tentative recommendation at the least. I mean, he's going to be good for being part of Devastator. And that's mainly it. For such a big guy, you'd think they would have strengthened him up a little bit more. So, yeah, there we go. Ugh. Come on, stay put. I just feel like I'm fighting with him every time I try to move him around. Alright. So, that has been a review. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun YouTube stuff. Check the description below for links to my storefront where you can get official shelf space, t-shirts, and more. And yeah, I'll see you next time you step on the road to Devastation. Next review is Devastator. And is also when a monster is supposed to be here. And that's ridiculous. Monsters. Monsters.